Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for the fourth and final Super Rugby Pacific game of the day. This one being the Reds taking on the Brumbies. Both sides now just making their way out of the tunnels. We've already had some entertaining high-scoring games throughout today. Let's hope that this one, the derby between these two sides, will be of similar fashion. And the Reds starting lineup will be Penny Ravai in the front row alongside Matt Faisler and Jeffrey Tuamunga, Alan Siruru and Ryan Smith as the locking duo, and then Luke Wright, Fraser McWright, and also Harry Wilson there as the number 8. Now the leading try scorer in the competition, Matt Faisler, he is at 2. He has already scored the 6 for this season. Tate McDermott and Tom Liner will be the 9-10 combo. Hunter Baisami and Josh Fluke in the midfield, alongside Matt Greeley, Jordan Bataya, and Jock Campbell at number 15. Then for the Brumbies, the away side, James Slipper, Lachlan Lonergan, and Sasefu Kautai. Darcy Swain and Cadron Neville in their locking duo. Then Rob Valentini, Jerome Brown, and Charlie Cale. These two loose forward trios have had phenomenal starts to their Super Rugby Pacific seasons. When they go head-to-head, only one of them will be able to prosper. Ryan Lonergan at number 9, with Nola Alicio at 10, Tamati Tua in the midfield alongside Hudson Creighton, and then Corey Tall, Ollie Satsford, and Tom Wright as the back 3. But we are on to the countdown, and we are now ready to go. The Reds will be kicking off this one at Suncorp Stadium. And the Brumbies, of course, receiving the ball. They are away from home, but Ryan Lonergan has the ball on the 22 now, across to Rob Valentini. So quite a free-flowing game with a few handling errors thrown in there, and we've already got a handling error in the first 20 seconds of this contest between these two sides. It's put down by the Brumbies early on, so now the Scrums have got themselves a scrum fee. We have got there, hello mate, says David Rain, and I did, thanks for the tip. And did you put the house on Rebels vs Waratahs game? If you did, you owe me some commission. And nice, where's my money, says Fluffy. And there as well, about 40 seconds in, of course, the Reds come in as slight favourites for this one, and got 1,000 on the Brumbies tonight. Seems like a big risk, but I guess if you've got the money there to be able to burn, then you might as well have a crack every once in a while, as long as you do it responsibly. They always say don't gamble the money that you don't think you can lose, or you can't afford to lose. Suncorp, I thought it was in Canberra. Says 7-0. No, this game is taking place at Suncorp Stadium. GIO Stadium out of action for tonight. Good run from Jordan Bataya. McDermott goes off to this left-hand side to Harry Wilson. I've got the money, says David Rain. A nice run forward from Jeffrey Tuamunga Allen. Of course, watched his ex-side do very well just before the Hurricanes. Big run from Penny Ravai. And I think it was knocked on by Hunter Baisami, although they say it's gone back. And that's going to be a red stride between the sticks. Josh Fluke, the man who has been able to get it early. Eye on Hamish, says Robert Vale. And that is one way to ignite the home crowd. And only because you follow my advice, lol, says Fluffy there. But Josh Fluke saws himself the try within the first 2 minutes of the contest. An electric pace that they've been trying to play at here early on, the Reds. There for Paisami. They've called it as a backwards lead at 1,000 to win 14.50 plus me 1,000, says David Rain. David not looking good, says Xavier Brown. Yeah, early drive for the Reds. Seen them start well in a few of their other contests, but this is a much better start than they had up against their Western Force. Red is hot stuff, and great start for the Reds, says 7-0 in there as well. Only 2 minutes in, and already 7-0. Josh Fluke has had a fantastic season so far, and yeah, would have gone with the Reds, mate, says Fluffy. Conversion is also successful from Tom Liner, so it makes the score 7-0 in favour of the home team. Good weather after the rugby league game last night, says Mark. Yeah, it does look relatively dry there, although there will be a little bit of dew around, of course, due to it being a nighttime game. The weather's been a real mixed bag. I think that the game that definitely stands out for this round of Super Rugby was the Fijian Drua in their game up against the Western Force, where it was absolutely bucketing down. In the end, the Force losing that contest. Now, the reason I bring up the Western Force, of course, is because they were able to get themselves their first victory of the season last week. That was in their game up against the Reds. 3.5 minutes in, that one kicked into touch by Noel Alessio. We have got there Kiwi. What if the Reds win? They will be in the top 3. They will not know. I think currently the way that it sits, they're on the 15 points. So the Blues won, the Brumbies won. So they will both go up. So the Reds theoretically can finish 4th at the end of this round. Now, of course, we will have an updated table for the start of the next round. But yeah, the Chiefs are the only side that will drop out of those top 4. But then they will still be on more points theoretically than the Reds. If the Reds win, then the Reds will go above the Chiefs, but they will only take them to 4th place. So hopefully that makes sense. Now, Hunter Paisami in behind. Goes to Jock Campbell again, trying to find his way through. Hunter Paisami, another knock on from him. Gives the ball back to the Brumbies now. Ryan Lonergan goes to Tom Wright. Looking for the pass on the outside to Hudson Creighton. Good attack and run. Found it to Tom Wright this time. Missed tackle from Tate McDermott. Another drop ball, this time from Ryan Lonergan. So both sides having their fair share of knock-ons early on in the contest. They will go back for the original scrum in favour of the Reds. But the line break from the Brumbies did look strong. Of course, they are not a side that have gone light in terms of the amount of tries that they've been able to score throughout this season. Last week's game, bringing up 60 points, the most that we've seen from a side so far throughout this season in an individual contest. Disappointed about it. Tom Wright, he did all the hard work of taking that catch just to give it off on the inside, and then it was dropped by Ryan Lonergan. In the end, almost would have had a pretty decent crack of just driving straight towards the try line through a gap, had it not been for a bit of a stoppage. We have got their damn knock-ons, says David Rain, although we are still, of course, very early on in the contest. Reds have got themselves the scrum feed from inside of their 22. McDermott goes back across to Tom Liner. Advertising for the Lion Store, of course, going to be on the field. We are not too far away from that series. Are you all looking forward to seeing many tries? Says Savanatha. I mean, I always love seeing a try every once in a while, and we've already seen one throughout this game. Early try being scored by Josh Fluke. When's the next international cricket tournament, says Justin? I believe in about 75 days is when the T20 World Cup will be taking place. Go the Reds, says Robert. Now back, Tate McDermott. Goes to Tom Liner. It's for the up and under. Noah Lulicio tries to slap that back onto the side of the Brumbies and has managed to do just that. Tamati Tua considered going for the pass, but instead will take the contact. We have got the IPL best cricket, says Bhavani. Depends on what type of cricket you like, though. If you prefer the test match, you're probably not going to like the IPL the most. Prefer the World Test Championship. Looking for the offload there. Another knock on. Tate McDermott breaks the line now for the Reds. Moves up to the 22 before he's smashed in the side by Darcy Swain. And just another tournament for the protest that disappoint me. Says Justin Ball on the outside. Jock Campbell this time. He's dropped the ball. There is probably 2 tries already throughout the Spurs 7 minutes that had it not been for a knock on, we would have seen 2 more tries in this game. But the Reds blundle that opportunity just out from their own line, or just out from the Brumbies line, I should say. It's now going to be another scrum feed this time for the Brumbies. Jock Campbell, Corey Toole, that one-on-one strip doing beautifully. Brumbies 100 out of 100 win against the Reds. Says 7-0, although that is not quite the way that the record currently sits for the Brumbies and the Reds. Of course, the Reds having a decent couple wins in recent years. The Brumbies getting their own fair share of victories over the Reds as well. It's a hard game to predict. It's pretty much, for me, it's a 50-50. I think that the Reds getting themselves on the board early has definitely given them a bit more confidence, so maybe about a 60-40 at the moment. But the Brumbies will not be down and out of this one yet, although they did almost concede another try in the first 8 minutes of the game. Looks like Jock Campbell may have a little bit of a limp going. At the moment, Reds 99 out of 99 lose against the Brumbies. Says 7-0. Now about to feed this ball in for the Brumbies. A bit of a stoppage in play at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, the next game that we are covering will be taking place at 2 a.m. New Zealand time, but we are starting at 1:50. That is the matchup between Sharks and Edinburgh. So if you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It is greatly appreciated. You'll be in here for these live streams. And then the one after that, it is going to be the match between the Stormers and Ulster, which I think will be the more competitive game of the two, although it's very hard to know what Sharks side will be turning up. They got themselves a win last week up against Ulster. They'll be wanting to do the same here again. Tamati Tua 5 metres out from the line for the Brumbies. Ryan Lonergan just looking for that ball in the breakdown to roll it back and have it available again now for the away side. Back into the pocket to Noah Lolesio, who is waiting patiently for it. Does put that ball into touch. Reds take it quickly with Fraser McRae now going off to Jock Campbell. That will test out the injured leg that he had just before. McDermott couldn't decide what way he wanted to go. Goes to Tom Liner. Tries to cut his way through. It's Brumbies defensive line. Penny Revai with the offload up to Hunter Paisami. Now Campbell puts in the fend. Taken down by Tamati Tua. And go the Reds. Says Hanoi and Rob Bellatini versus Mick White. Or Mick Wright, sorry. That is from Savanatha. And also Jerome Brown. Head-to-head with Harry Wilson. There are a few great head-to-heads that we are going to see throughout this game. They look like, Jordan Batai's taken another head knock. Now, unfortunately, he's just come back from his HIA and his 2-week concussion stand down. I think that he's just taken another big knock on the side of the head, and maybe he will have to go off for another HIA here. The Reds are close, but they've been held up, and it's going back for the original penalty. But Jordan Batai does not look like he is completely good here. That can sometimes happen from rushing a player back from a head knock. Of course, they have the 2-week stand down, but sometimes it takes a little bit longer for a player to find their bearings. Who KO'd Pattaya? Says Hanoi. We're about to see the slow motion replay here. So McWright went down. Then Geordie Pattaya tried to join the breakdown. In fact, I don't think we didn't really get to see it from that angle. But I honestly don't know if Jordan Pattaya should still be on the field. I feel like he may actually need another HIA. Is Vunivanu playing? Says nothing on the starting side for the Reds. Anyway, he is coming off the bench at 23. How are Brumbies doing? They've been inside of their own half for a majority of the first 10 minutes. They have one good line break, but then the ball was dropped by Ryan Lonergan. I think the Hurricanes and the Brumbies at the final 2024. Says nothing. And is like a worse coach than Rob Penny. Well, that's the thing. Like, I feel like coaches not only need to be based off results, but also need to be based off the player pool that they have available. Because Rob Penny, currently with the Crusaders, a lot would say that, the players are not what the Crusaders are used to having. Some would say for Stephen Larkham, the Brumbies have been strong on paper, but sometimes haven't quite been able to create that performance that they need. And overall, the Brumbies are a relatively solid side. It's going to be their penalty on their own 22, so they will be able to kick this one downfield, look towards the touchline. Darcy Swain helped win that penalty. Interference in the air is the call against Ryan Smith. Do me Brumbies and me $1,000 have a chance, says David Rain. I mean, you're still very early on, so anything can happen. But if you had put money on them now, they would have been paying a lot more than the 240 or whatever it was in terms of those betting odds for this one. Rob Penny is the new coach for the Crusaders. He certainly is. They've moved from the Waratahs after having 5 losses in a row for them. So he has broken his losing drought where he was up to 10 losses in a row at this round. But then the Crusaders beating the Chiefs, that is a massive achievement compared with the fact that the Chiefs in this season came in as favourites to go on to win the whole thing. And now Tamati Tua finds the offload away. Noel Alessio once again knocking the ball on. If they stop dropping the ball, they may have a sniff. Available now for Josh Fluke. A bit of a counter-ruck there from the Brumbies. Ben O'Keefe says play on. It's back there now for the Reds. Can't do that here. Says David Rain. Do they only have opening odds rather than betting throughout the game? They normally have live odds for a lot of things. Jock Campbell has now dropped the ball. She's going to be a day of scrums, so I hope the 4-packs are ready for it because we have already had about 6 drop balls throughout the first 12 minutes. You either bet before it starts or not at all, says David Rain. Been dropped by Noel Alessio. Then Jock Campbell just looking up to where he was going to run before he had the ball in hand. does cause yet again another knock on in this game. This is, I guess, not what we expected between these two sides, but it also doesn't surprise me in a way, the fact that they are so evenly matched. Looks like maybe Penny Ravai may have got a finger in the eyeball. Can I eat lamb today on Easter Sunday? Says Annoy. I don't see why not. Is there like a rule? I don't really know the rules. Like, I'll have some chicken tenders after this probably, which I think would be all right. It's that because it's in the foreign market. Says David Rain. And let's get 20 likes, guys. Says Reeves. And sure, I just did. Says Fluffy. And there as well. 12 minutes in. 5th scrum or so of the first half here already. You know, Keith trying to keep a firm grasp on this game. That's something that's happened throughout the Super Rugby round. In particular, round 6. It seems like they haven't had full control of the games, the referee. And it's been hurting them a little bit. Handling errors again. Says Joe Webby and Juicy Lamb Chops. Says a Fluffy now. Charlie Cale goes to the short side after Hudson Creighton. Ball on the outside to Ollie Sapsford. This is the best chance for the Brumbies here of the first half in terms of position and in terms of where they are on the field. But Fraser McWright looking for that turnover, doesn't get his hands on the ball. Noel Alessio goes across the Tamati Tua. Ball falling awkwardly to Tom Wright. He reaches out and scores the try. He is on fire at the moment. The Brumbies fullback. An hot game of Suncorp and lamb chops with mint jelly. I think I can have lamb after midday. Says Annoy. But the Brumbies, they fire back with a try of their own. It is normally a high-scoring affair when these two sides do go head-to-head. Ollie Satsford cuts back inwards. The line break was created by a good run from Hudson Creighton. Then they went out wide. Corey Toole was waiting, but he never really thought he was getting that ball, I don't believe. I think he was just there to try and create a bit of a decoy. And handling error Reds 100 out of 100. Says Savannatha. A nice run from the Brumbies to break through and score that try. Decent effort from Jock Campbell to try and stop him from putting the ball down. Now the Brumbies to line up this kick. Currently that is his 4th of the season, Tom Wright. Nolan Alessio, not the easiest kick to start him off for the day. Right near the touchline. Getting ready to sink the slipper into this one, and it has gone over for him. That is now going to make the score 7 points each. Will the Brumbies get the +2? Yes. Says David, they certainly have, and why only after midday? Says Fluffy. Yeah, very well done by Tom Wright, using that power to break through Jock Campbell's tackle attempt. I think they are going to get golden point 40-40. Says Southern Arthur. Tell you what, that scoreline's probably, it is a possibility when these two sides play. We're used to seeing them have high-scoring affairs where there's a lot of counter-rugby. Also some brilliant tries along the way. Ryan Lonergan goes off to Sefo Kautai. That's there again. Ryan Lonergan almost took a bit of a kick to the face there. Noel Alessio putting that ball into touch. I think because Easter Sunday, Kristen, you have to wait until midday. Says Annoying 7 more. Give it a share, please. Says Reeves. And my $1,000 bet is looking better now. Says David. Of course, we do accept donations for your success, David. Even though we didn't really tell you to back the Brumbies. Unless you watched the podcast. Because I did say the Brumbies would win this game. But I assume that you didn't. And happy Easter. Says Ollie is the best. Oh yeah, the lamb thing. Says Fluffy. It's going to be knocked back by Tate McDermott. Across to Tom Liner. Big shot on Josh Fluke. Hard by Tamati Tua, looping around Jordan Patai. I'm still not sure if he's 100%, but it looks like for now he's going to be continuing in this game. You've always got to take that little bit of extra caution with the player just returning from a concussion. Now, Matty Faisler, the leading try scorer of the comp, with his 6 tries already. And I was over there, I did, that's why I bet them. Really? I wouldn't trust my tips at all, but like I said, if you're rolling in success, we do accept donations on the old channel. Go straight back into the channel as well. Penny Ravai now with the spin. I guess who's old out of Matthew and Devon. Have a guess? I'll go Matthew just because it's easier. It's the first name that you put. Tom Liner now chipping it in behind. They will go back for the original. penalty. And love me some Kiwi lads, as gay as that sounds, says David Rain. We knew what you meant, though. Joining ruck incorrectly, that one going against Charlie Cale. They've now got themselves an opportunity to kick this one straight out in front of the post, if they want the 3, that is. Unless they want to go for the corner. Look to add some extra points on the board. What could end up being a high-scoring affair. Crusaders have a good Friday. There's 7-0. Yeah, they'll be happy to get themselves their first win of the season. Now lining up this line out here, they have gone for the corner rather than going for the 3. So a little bit of a risk for the Reds, but already 17 minutes through. This game has been absolutely flying by. Even with the scrums that we have had, I think that both sides have been trying to play it at a tempo that does keep the game flowing. And we haven't had too many stoppages at all throughout the early stages, even with those set pieces nicely claimed by Siru Uru. Droy had a good Saturday. Says 7-0. Ball's now there for Tate McDermott. Goes off to the left-hand side. Matty Fazeley has dropped the ball. Not what you would expect. And another drop ball there from Josh Fluke. I don't know what they've done to this ball. Lathered it in butter or something before the game got underway. Put some oil on it. But she is well and truly greased. And it seems like neither team have been able to hold on to it. Would you clarify the venue for this game? So it is at Suncorp Stadium. So a Queensland Reds home game. So far they have made 11 tackles to home side compared to the 31 of the Brumbies. I'm still buzzing after that Canes thrashing. And also the George emoji there from Robert as well. Who's dropping the ball? Both sides. The Reds have dropped it quite a few times already, but so have the Brumbies. Seen more handling errors from the Reds though, so that will give you a bit more confidence. Question now is who can actually stop them. There's Pads ablaze. You're not going to like it, Paddy, but I think it's going to be a team that they aren't actually expecting to get themselves the win. If that makes sense. Like maybe, I don't know, like a Western Force or a... Who else could it be? Like a... I don't know. I feel like it will be someone unexpected. Maybe the Brumbies. Who knows? And Goldie's ahead at Suncorp. What a shock. Says Hanoi. And yesterday was jackpot. Says Toxic. Who bet on the Cowboys? How'd they go in the end? Because I know that they came in as massive underdogs at one point when I saw. Just disappointed about the Dragons versus Manly game today. Says Liam Porter there. Welcome into the live stream. Hope you are. Other than that, of course, still doing relatively well. And Fluffy gave me the Rebels yesterday. Says, David, it sounds like you're making all the money, David, and we're all sitting here just watching you win. And Doo-Doo says Fluffy, and it's not even raining here. For a change, there's no dew. It's going to be kicked downfield from the Brumbies, 40 metres out from the line with Jock Campbell. Now kicking it down the middle of the park. That's a claim from Noel Alessio inside of his 22. We do have to play the Chiefs twice, so yeah, it could be up against the Chiefs perhaps that we see that first loss coming. I think that they do need a loss during pool stage though, or the group stage, for them to really flourish as a team. Tom Wright desperate to quieten the Max Jorgensen Oz number 15 talk. I mean, they've also got Callaway as another option there. Of course, Callaway actually signing for Jorgensen's team. You know, my only source of live rugby information. Says David Rain, 5 more likes, guys. Says Reeves. And I'm still freak out by the loss. The Blues, the home team Moana. Although the home team Moana at Eden Park. So the Blues home ground. Like, when you want to talk about a team getting shafted, that is the game. Like, yes, they were probably going to lose anyway, but playing in Hawke's Bay, don't give the Blues the home field advantage when they're away from home. It's pretty much just gifting them like an unfair advantage that they didn't already need for a game that they were going to win comfortably. That was a big shot coming in on Tate McDermott. Appreciate me some Hamish. Says David Raymer, that ball has gone into touch now. 30 metres from the line. The Reds will have themselves the line out that it's due to the ill discipline of Darcy Swain. You should be giving Hamish a kickback, David. Says Fluffy. I certainly wouldn't oppose to that idea. But I don't think it will happen, Fluffy, I would say. Now it's going to be thrown in by Matty Fazeley. Goes straight to Ryan Smith. slaps it back onto the side of Tate McDermott. Run forward from Josh Fluvunivalu versus Toole, though at the moment it's Corey Toole versus Jordan Pataia. And back across. One more off to Tom Lineout, ducks under the tackle attempt of James Slipper. McDermott again goes across to Ryan Smith. Josh Fluke shut down early by Tamati Tua, just slams him to the ground, and that'll be another penalty going the way of the Brumbies. Assist came on the ball. Ball carrier holding on, but currently 20 minutes through at the moment in this contest, and it is 7-all between these two sides. Time left, 60 minutes, so plenty of time remaining in this match for both of these sides. Of course, both will be chasing that bonus point victory. Yeah, just slammed down Josh Fluke, and I think that may have delayed him a little bit in terms of getting that ball back, was because he's got slightly winded in the way he was slammed down by Tamati Tua. Now line out throw again here for Lachlan Lonergan. To put it in, lineouts have taken a little bit longer in this game than normal in terms of being able to find that right receiver. Now, Noel Alessio, quick ball from Hudson Creighton, just throws it back to Ollie Satsford, who looks towards the touchline. Well cleaned up by Jordan Pataia inside of his 22. Here he goes, Jordan Pataia running forward and has dropped the ball again. This time it was Charlie Cale who does force the error. Hamish got Venmo. I think that's a very American thing, isn't it? We have, like, I have PayPal, but I don't think I have Venmo that I know of. Like, unless Venmo is PayPal. Are they the same thing? And let's go the Brumbies. Says Toxic Vish. And they think they're playing the NFL to tell them they're not supposed to throw the ball forward, says Fluffy. I think that would help in terms of that advice, because there have been about 7 or 8 times already throughout this game that we have seen knock-ons. Kicked him behind from Ryan Lonergan. I've got PayPal, says David Rains. I can't tell if you're actually serious about sending me money or not, because a lot of people have said that they would and then they don't. So then I've just kind of got used to thinking, nah, they probably won't. But it's hard to tell with you, David. Not the same thing, says David Rain. Now pass on the outside, Lachlan Lonergan. Nice attacking run forward. Siru Iru losing his footing. Damn serious, says David there. I don't even know how to get into my PayPal account. I might have to look at it at half time and see whether... Because how do you even send money on PayPal? I honestly do not know. The only time I had PayPal was for a sponsor, and they ended up sending the money through, so I didn't have to actually send anything. Jordan Pataia just knocking that ball on. Talk is cheap. Got to put your money where your mouth is, says David Rain. And hello, Hamish. Hope you enjoyed the rugby this weekend. Next weekend is Hong Kong Sevens. Hope you're excited, says Brandon. I am quite excited, Brandon. I feel like it's going to be exciting rugby just around the corner. And they're just saying Lachlan Lonergan. He's actually going to suffer a bit of an injury here, and it's going to take a few minutes for them to get him back out onto the field, or at least back off the field, and tie a couple bucks to a carrier pigeon, says Fluffy. Alright, we all go like that. I don't even know if I remember my PayPal account number. That's wrong. That's wrong. Anyone wondering, there is a stoppage in play as well, which is why I am currently typing. That's wrong. Shit. What did I make the password? That's the hardest part, I think. No. I've had a shocker. I've tried 4 passwords. None of them are right. No. No. I've had a shocker. I've got to get it sent to my email. Oh, I don't even have that as my email of the PayPal, I don't think. I haven't said bad words. I live stream it the first time ever. How you can do? I forgot my password. All right, we will go back now. Oh, it's getting angry at me. But we're currently, there's still a stoppage. Lachlan Lonergan does not look too flash. Here we are just getting the replays of all the tries that have been scored. I like if your team is the Reds, subscribe. If your team is the Brumbies. And Uber is playing for the Hong Kong Sevens. He certainly is. It's going to be entertaining. See how he does end up going. Another stretcher job. Not good. Yeah, unfortunately, we've had just a few too many of them throughout this weekend. And this one looks relatively serious as well. Not ideal for that man. Right, it says some of my information is still incorrect. We'll get there in the end. Okay, we're going to do the forgot the password of that one too. Oh, I at least got a text. That's a bonus. And try warning 123. Don't think I used that this time. He's excited to get some American money. Well, I'm curious to see if you're serious or not. And since we got a stoppage in play, I guess it worked out quite well. Can't wait for the Wales game tomorrow. Hopefully they can get up. Now we are back into this contest, ladies and gentlemen. I get the opportunity to create a new password. That's a bit exciting. There we go. Too many attempts. You've locked out of your account. No, not quite. New password has been created for the old PayPal, but currently back into the rugby. The Brumbies with Tamati Tua are running their way forward here. Round the side of the breakdown, Jerome Brown goes off to Ryan Lonergan. Another offload. Sefu Kautai is over. Did he drop it though? How many Australian dollars going to make you happy? Says David Rain. I feel like that's something that you've got to decide on, David. I can't be the one who decides that. Sefu Kautai gets him for the Brumbies. Do they want to check it? I give you 1 cent. Sets pads ablaze in there as well. I don't even know how to work PayPal. How do you, request money on it? Pay and get paid. Are you in Australia? Yes, I am in New Zealand. I have noticed, I have never noticed before how disturbingly white your teeth are, says JP Wood. It's honestly the lighting. Like, on other days, they look completely different. Like, if Colgate were like to me, hey, we want to do a sponsor, and then they actually saw me without, the lighting that I have, they'd be like, oh, maybe not. So, it's purely lighting, but I take it. It's pretty good for me. But, yeah, in terms of actually the thing. I know New Zealand, says David Rain. I've noticed this his teeth, says David Rain. And let's go. Oh, they've ruled it as a no try. There's a knock on. Everyone's dropping the ball in this contest. There's a ball in. You're definitely eating lamb for Easter, says David Rain. I don't even know how to request money on PayPal. I think I need your email address. So I feel like the only way for you to do that would be to send us an email through the Kiwi Lads email, if you know that one. Just because or else then people, if you put it in the chat, then everyone's going to be requesting money from you. I have to wear a pair of Oakleys, says Fluffy. Our scrum feed in favour of the Reds, 5 metres out from their line here. Oh, what's the email? I will send you... What one should I send you? I got a few emails. What one would be the best? Oh, can you... With the PayPal email... I think it's this. If I'm correct. Fun fact, ladies and gentlemen, that was the original name of the channel. The Musketeers gotta love me because I love me some Kiwi lads. Gotta pay the play. But that is not necessary, of course. And now scrum feed again. Yeah, for the Reds. Be now feeding the ball in. So 14 minutes remaining in this first half as well, ladies and gents. International finance is very complicated. Says Fluffy there, big push from the Brumbies. Too much movement though. So an unstable scrum leads to another opportunity here for the Reds. But I think that the Brumbies are looking to really fire back with a big push of their own. You know, Keefe's had to work extremely hard at scrum time because we've seen so many of these scrums early on in the fixture. I reached out to you offline. Let's enjoy the match, says David Rain in there as well. If you have written that down, I can delete it from the chat as one thing, though. Just because it is, I'll get a whole heap of random emails, I would say, which isn't exactly a bad thing. To be fair, we give you guys our Instagram as well. Anyone who wants to follow us on Instagram while we're at it, we'll chuck it there, the Kiwi lads. Tom Liner going to the short side. And that's a penalty in favour of the Reds. If Aaron Smith was playing in between, or there between Landers and Canes, would be a good game. I think it was still a good game, though. Like, Folau Fakatava didn't do too much wrong. It's just unfortunate for him that like they were just really outclassed by the Hurricanes, and the Hurricanes took their chances more than the Highlanders did. Yeah, Tom Liner running onto this one quite nicely. He was tackled low by Ryan Lonergan. Got straight up to his feet. I think they said that there wasn't... I can message you on Instagram. What's your handle? So it is... that one. And that's not just for David. Anyone who does want to follow us on Instagram, be sure to check it out. The Kiwi_lads. Or the _Kiwi_lad. The _Kiwi_lads. I said that wrong about 4 times. It's like wearing a shark. Or watching a shark wearing a human face. Says JP Wood. I don't know if that's a compliment or not. I feel like it kind of is, but at the same time, it's kind of not. Now going back across to the man in the midfield, being Matt Greeley. Ryan Smith, 40 metres out from the line. The Brumbies are still 7-all due to the fact that they did drop that ball over the try line for Sifu Kautai. To be fair, it sums up what we have seen from these two sides. I'm looking to go over the top of it for Sifu Kautai. Now back across Tom Liner. It's going to be 12 wide offside, so that is going against, I believe that is Tamati Tua, who has had a very physical game so far throughout this contest. And McDermott managing to step his way through. Nololesio holds him up. Corey Toole stripped it away, so they'll go back for another penalty in favour of the Reds. A pretty tight match, says Amazing Product. They normally are very close, these two sides. It's one of those ones that can easily go either way. Currently, I would say that momentum's a little bit in favour of the Reds, but I don't doubt that the Brumbies can't come back into this one. What was the Sharks' name in Suicide Squad? I haven't actually seen that movie. Fun fact, I haven't seen a lot of movies. To be fair, does anyone keep tabs on tries disallowed each game, says Joe Webby? I know for now we've had at least one in this game. If you rub your face on a pillow, you will have a new guy. If you rub your face on a pillow, you will have a new guy. You know, JP Wood's comment of it's like watching a shark wearing a human face confused me, but that one's just confused me even more so than nothing. Like, I don't know what you mean. Tom Liner to line up the 3 points now here. Does slot that one. Oh, no, he's missed it. It's gone to the left-hand side. Message you on Instagram. Did you? Oh, yeah, you did. Wants to send me a message. I shall accept that, David. I believe. There we go. I have accepted your request, and I sent you back a hello. Going off to the left-hand side. Offload from Cadron Neville. If you play with your wife, tell her to rub her face on a pillow and you get a new guy. And you can get a guy. If you play with your wife, what type of playing are we talking? Like, as in, like, I assume you're saying her makeup comes off. Which is, I guess, like, yes, you will see a different person per se, but then when you said that I should rub my face on the pillow, that's where the confusion came in. This is like Econ 102. I already watched it. You already watched your wife rub her face on the... I'm so confused. Like, it normally takes a lot. But I am completely and utterly bamboozled at the moment. Now McDermott going back across. Hey, Hamish, want to see some photos of me when I was the Fijian drawer? Sounds like she has a strap on. It sounds like something's not quite right in that situation for Savi Natha. Stephen Larkham is a great number 10, but my heart goes for the Reds. His amazing product. Now, it's going to be another line out. Nicely taken there. Ryan Lonergan off to Tamati Tua. Lonergan goes across to Hudson Creighton. The leg has been picked up. And sorry, I don't know what is going on tonight, says Brandon. That makes two of us. I'm very confused, but I'm also intrigued about Savanatha's scenario. You know, he's got us hooked in. He's given us the plot. Now we want to know what happens afterwards. Ryan Lonergan rolling it back again. The mighty Brumbies, let's go. There's Green Zone boy. And 3 says, all right, but it's going to be slapped back by Corey Toole. Darcy Swain offloads the ball up. I'm also confused, says Bads Ablaze. Again, Cadron Neville just making those couple of metres. We're on the halfway line at the moment. It's still 7-all between these two sides after 33 minutes. That's going to be kicked in behind. Nicely cleaned up by Jock Campbell. Wasn't quite able to get it through. And back to rugby. How many Brumbies doing? Mr. Kiwi lads want some American dollars, says David Rain. I think all it's taught me is I have no idea how PayPal works, because I was looking at the menu before and I was like, I am very lost here. But I think you can send through having their email, I think, if I'm correct. Now the Reds, 6 minutes remaining in the first half. We can't all be called confused, says Fluffy. We might be. Everyone might be named the same. Suru. Finally, the offload. Ryan Smith has knocked that one on here again. We'll figure it out, says David Rain. And Huss, so confused, says Brandon. Oh, we all go like this. There we go. And I'm confused about being confused. I need to get an up and go. And I just in 1 minute, I'm confused already, says D-Funk. Yeah, they've certainly thrown us for a curveball. But the sad thing is, wait, yes, you are right. So you thought you were in bed with a woman, Savanatha, and then she ended up putting her face down in your pillow, and then it was a man? And she had a strap on was the other part that got added in. I don't know whether that was the case. And come on, Brumbies, you can do the job. And welcome to the International Finance Tutorial, D-Funk. And let's go, Brandon, says David. And Kiwi, if you watch it, you will know. Watch what? Like your documentary series? Or just watch a woman in general? Because watching a woman sounds like a restraining order waiting to happen. Just saying. Still a lot going on. Les Kiss, sorry, I should say. Knock, knock. Don't even want to answer that one, Green Zone. I feel like this could be anything. But who is there? Another scrum feed, fun fact, in the current contest. I was getting way off topic, says David Rain. But yeah, the ball, to be fair though, every time we've talked about another topic has been when we've had a stoppage in this game. There have been quite a few, but now the Brumbies using their back line. That one's gone into touch. Again, another handling error. The Reds look like they've taken it quickly. They've decided to go for the boot in behind, and they've kicked it out on the full. So we'll now go back for the original Brumbies lineout. It's an awkward position for him to be in. And fair play, says David Rain. As I'm in bed with a woman, so you thought you were in bed with women, but it men, says Brandon. Well, men would mean it's multiple men. And Hoya says Green Zone boy. I feel like this is what happens when we have a lot of handling errors in a game. People end up getting off topic, which to be fair has been very enjoyable so far. But that was a miracle offload from Hudson Crane, or at least it would have been if it had connected with the hands. As Tom Wright playing for the Brumbies, he certainly is, has already got himself a try earlier on in this contest. 4 minutes remaining in this first half. About to be thrown in. I thought I was tuning into a rugby chat. It turns out to be a sex chat, much more interesting, says Flishin. Now Hunter Paisami trying to go through Tamati Tua. I don't know, decent tackle attempt, but in the end it's actually Noel Olesio manages to get the job finished. If I was face down in the pillow, I'd see my tattoo that only exit, that says exit only, says David. It's an interesting choice. I can imagine whereabouts you've got that one tattooed though. And we have got there, Hoya who, says Patson Place. Oh yeah, I forgot it was a knock-knock joke, wasn't it? Rather than just him making the noise. And go the Brumbies go, says Green Zone. That one's gone out on the full here from Tate McDermott. Another mistake. Then it's twice in a row here that the Reds have actually kicked that ball into touch on the full. The right butt cheek, says David Rain. Why'd you pick the right rather than the left out of curiosity? If you don't get turned on by handling errors, something's wrong with you, says JP Wood. It's going to be nicely taken by Darcy Sway and Jerome Brown off the back to Tamati Tua. The Brumbies, they've knocked it off. What's on this ball? Because every time someone carries it into contact, the ball goes down. Now Jordan Bataya running forward. He's hung on to that one. Oh, that's a drop ball. It's gone backwards though. Someone's broken the ball. Like someone's put it the wrong way around or something, or they put it in something that they shouldn't have. And in America, we drive on the right. Okay, so it keeps you organised in terms of what side you should be on. Do you sleep on the right side of the bed as well, David, or is that just the right side of the road that you drive on? Now it's available at the back again. And go Brum, go Brum, go. And the only match I can watch, and it's a basketball game, says Fluffy. The ball is there for the Reds after they did knock it backwards. And right now I want to say, let's go David, says Brandon. Going to be kicked in behind, nicely taken by the Brumbies. And the lingo dialect says a Blues Nate return fire, not successful. Now Tom Liner boots it back down towards the centre of the field. I do sleep on the right side of the bed. My wife is on me left, says David. Well, there you go. It matches there as well. Now running forward, Jordan Bataya, good shot on him by Jerome Brown. There's been some good physicality throughout this game. Maybe that is why there's been so many handling errors. But Jock Gamble goes on the outside now to Matt Greeley. Cross to Fraser McWright. Moves up to the 50-metre line. Reds would love to turn. Oh, that's another rough pass. Siriuru knocks it backwards. So it is going to be play on. The condition it might have been causing a lot of handling errors. To be honest, though, it looks dry. Like, it doesn't look like wetness on the ball is a problem. But just both sides have been dropping that ball. And let's go Kiwi lads with the dollars. And there as well. There's a Blues Nate there. Nicely taken. Now Tom Wright trying to bust his way through. And I'll say, let's go the Brumbies. The match can't end in a tie, can it? It can, actually. Although, normally if it ends in a tie, it goes to golden point time. Now, I'm not sure whether or not for yourself in America, they have it, that golden point time, whoever wins that is your money, if that makes sense. But for us in New Zealand, they actually have it that if you back someone to win, and the draw is also the option, if your team wins after golden point time, you don't get paid. So that is one of the slight risks of a draw in a game. It looks like Ryan Lonergan has decided that they will line up the kick at the post after the penalty has been won by the Brumbies. Like I said, only 38% possession for the Brumbies, but they could go into halftime in the lead here if this kick is successful from them. And I think they'd be more than happy with that, definitely with the amount of handling errors we have seen from both of these teams. It hasn't just been one who has been struggling, so maybe conditions are playing a little bit of a factor. I just looked up my sports betting app, and whether it is an issue, look at the Drua versus Force game. In China, you eat banana. In Fiji, you eat cheese bun. Okay. Interesting. Like, to be fair, cheese bun does slap, though, as the cool kids would say. A banana. Like, why the comparison between China and Fiji, though, out of everywhere? I am curious, but I enjoy the information. The kick has gone over, and the Brumbies at half-time do go into the break. 10 points to 7 in favour of them. And do a ref decide the golden point option? No, not really. So pretty much the way that it works is the referees do end up pretty much doing a coin toss. The players call it, and then whoever wins the coin toss gets to choose whether or not they're receiving the ball or also what way they are going to be going. And there better not be a draw. I don't think we'll get a draw here, although, you know, they're quite close in terms of how they've played throughout this first half of the contest. But I think that once this drop ball situation goes away, we're going to see a lot more free-flowing rugby in the second half, and these two sides are going to find a bit more success. 376 metres carried for the Reds, just a one try apiece. So he leads at halftime. It is 10 points to 7 in favour of the Brumbies. And this one, David. Was there a disallowed try? I swear, when I last checked Google, it was 12-7. There was. So Sisefu Kautai crossed the try line, but as he did so, he dropped the ball. So it was initially given as a try, and then they looked at it, and then it was disallowed. But we've seen 20 clean breaks, 20 defenders beaten for the Reds compared to the Brumbies, who have only defeated the 8. Let's go, the mighty Brumbies. So here's a green zone boy. And in New Zealand, you eat kiwi. In Australia, you eat apple. Now, I probably prefer an apple, to be honest. Kiwi fruit sometimes is a little bit strong and sour. Like, if you get a sweet kiwi fruit, she's a good day at the office. But if it's a sour one, like, some people just eat the skin of the kiwi fruit as well, but that's even more sour, at least in my opinion. How much longer is your marathon, Hamish? We have still got another 10 hours till the end of the live stream. Yeah, go Brumbies, and me Kiwi lads can get their American greenbacks, says David, and I hate feijoas. I've actually never tried a feijoa. Fun fact, Australian apples are bad. But I have sent you a message on Instagram, David, but I don't know whether I sent it correctly. Yeah, I can't eat the skin, yuck. It's hairy as well, so it just makes me feel a bit weird. It's hairy, says Defunk. We're on the same page, mate. We got the telepathy going. And yeah, it's a bit weird. A kiwi fruit's outer. Like, it's the only fruit that I can think of that's fuzzy. Other than a gooseberry. A gooseberry actually is a little bit fuzzy on the outside. Anyone tuning in now, we've seen 2 tries throughout the first half. Hope the Reds would resolve handling errors for the second half. Says amazing product. And also Tasmanian apples, them to good apples. Says Fluffy. I don't think we get them here in New Zealand. We get Royal Gala, we get Eve, we get kind of the different regions of the country. 87 tackles made by the Brumbies throughout that first half. They have missed 22, but they are still in this game. But yeah, the last game that we have got on the channel that we are covering will be between Ulster and Stormers. Peaches are fuzzy. That is true. Actually, now that you say that, and apricots have a little bit of a fuzz to them too, don't they? The big question, ladies and gentlemen, whoever did plant biology might be able to answer this for me. Why are fruits fuzzy and kind of hairy on the outside? Because I don't know. And I did plant biology. I feel like it's something to do with the fact that it is the fruit of the plant, and maybe it's some sort of protection mechanism. But I can't think of it like put a spike on the fruit, not a little bit of fuzz. It will only tickle whatever's trying to eat it. They don't shave. That's another good point. And American apples from Washington State or New York State are awesome. Have you ever tried a Granny Smith? I have ages ago. They're normally a little bit more sour than the red apples, aren't they? If I'm correct, I had to try another one when they are back in season. And Juice Pink ladies. Score predictions. I still feel that even with the stats in favour of the Reds, the Brumbies can get the job done. I backed them on the podcast. I've got to stick to my word. I could eat a peach for hours, says David Rain. We're still talking about the fruit. And also, who's going to win this 2024 Super Rugby? I think it is between a few of the New Zealand sides at the moment. Don't get me wrong. I think that, the Brumbies and the Reds have got a decent shot making it from the quarterfinals, maybe even to the semis. But I just feel like a couple of those New Zealand sides have been that little bit better so far. Just wondering which team is going to play the Reds next week. Says amazing products. So the next game for the Reds, they are going head-to-head with Moana Pacifica. Although the Reds do not have a game next week, they have got the bye. And then after that, the week after, they go up against Moana Pacifica. Then the Highlanders, they are going to be playing up against the Reds, followed by the Blues and the Crusaders. So a few tough games for the Reds just around the corner. It will be very testing to see whether or not they can get those wins under their belt. If anyone wondering about the Brumbies, they've got the Tars next weekend. Then they have got the week off. Then they face the Blues, the Hurricanes, and then the Fijian draw. But the big thing here, they are playing the Fijian draw at GIO Stadium rather than in Fiji, where Fiji currently sit with 8 wins from their last 9 games. You back the Brumbies in the podcast, so I put $1,000 on them. That's a lot of pressure, David. But I think the other ones that we've told you this weekend have actually almost paid off. But I will mention, gamble responsibly. Of course, in 27-17 in favour of the Brumbies. And Blues are too flashy. Canes will be strong until the end. And Brumbies next game says a green zone boys. So their next game is up against the Waratahs next Saturday. Millions of peaches for me, says Fluffy. And it's the Hurricanes going to win 2024, says Savannatha. Yeah, it will be interesting to see if they can continue that winning streak. Because we've got to remember, there's been sides with winning streaks before. I win, you win, Hamish, says David. But what happens when you lose? Do I also lose theoretically, David? Do you get to interview Nick White on your show once? I did not know. Pretty much, he was the only player of the Bledisloe who replied, but he pretty much said that sadly due to, pretty much broadcasters and, I guess, in terms of, media rights, they aren't allowed to do random interviews unless it's outside of the regular season. Last thing Super Rugby Pacific needs is another Kiwi versus Kiwi final. As a fellow Kiwi, I never had a Fajoa until I came to Auckland to give you bags of the damn things, says JP Wood. I'll be your American sugar daddy, says David. That's a sentence I didn't think I would say today. And peaches come from a can, and they were put there by a man or a machine in some regards as well. And look out, and I lose, it's only money. That's a free-flowing attitude, isn't it? It's great that you're in a position to be able to just go, if I lose, I lose. Oh, well. But, yeah, I guess you must have made some good decisions throughout life. Jordan Pattaya, he's doing some very good decision-making. We've got a super sticker there from Blues Nate. Thank you very much, mate. Greatly appreciated. With their $2.99 Aussie super sticker. That's enough to get you a Big Ben pie, Nate. If you were in New Zealand, hopefully you do visit soon, though, back to Auckland or wherever you end up. So you can get yourself one of those pies. 114 metres carried for Jordan Pattaya. 7 defenders beaten, 1 clean break. It's been looking very strong. Jock Campbell having 76 metres. Have you got a dragon fruit? I think you can get them in New Zealand. But, yeah, we haven't got them at our local supermarket. You can't take it with you, Hamish. That is a saying I've heard quite a bit lately, to be honest. And Footy Tips wasn't too bad. Says Blues Nate. And also, let's go the Reds. I say as a Crusaders fan. Says Kristen Rush. If you love something, set it free. I guess that's in a weird poetry way. That is kind of gambling. If you love something, set it free. And then if it's meant to be, it will come back to you. If you win, you get it back. If you don't, then it's gone. Daily only at the Dragons Mardi Gras. Says Fluffy, I love me money. Says David. I almost read that in a Mr. Krabs voice from SpongeBob then. Got a little bit tempted. I don't think I can do many SpongeBob impersonations though, other than SpongeBob's laugh. A little bit. But if I try it now, you guys will laugh at me. There's another donation from Blues Nate. Thank you very much, mate. Greatly appreciated. 2 in a row. At the moment, you're on fire. At the moment, Nate. That could get you about 4 Big Ben pies, to be fair. So a decent feed with the size of them. Most running metres for the Brumbies came from Tom Wright, 74 metres with 6 defenders beaten. Gary DeCeasnail. I don't know if I could do him. No, I don't think I could. I don't think I can do that one. I'm more SpongeBob than Mr. Krabs. But if you ran into Nick White in summer at the beach, you could chat away and get some good content. Says, although if I meet him at the beach, he's probably in a budgie smuggler. It might be a bit weird if I get a camera out and be like, hey, Nick, what's happening this season? Is that your Mr. Krabs laugh, Joseph? I assume it is. Have you got a peach kiwi to eat? No, I don't. I think I've got some bananas in the house. I've got Hamish, one more to open up. I like a scratch and wins, says Blues Nate. The worst thing is I know that there are other people who are in the next room, so if I randomly try SpongeBob impersonation, like they will hear it and they will probably be very disappointed because it might not even be that good. Second half just around the corner. Does anyone remember crab apples? They're the small apples, aren't they? Are they small apples? I know we used to have an apple tree that had real small ones, and I think they were crab apples. But the bugs seemed to like them more than we did. Like, they would just get into that tree and they would have it, and they would just not let go. I was just talking to a boxer for the gathering in Adelaide. The pay-per-view, I think that they're talking about the fact that some of the footy players are going to be boxing in the near future. I love me a Golden Delicious. Golden Delicious sounds real good. Golden kiwi fruits are quite nice. If you guys have tried one of those, they are actually, I believe, better than regular kiwi fruits. Have you ever drunk kava? I have not, no. We have crab apples when we was younger. Ideal size for flinging at people. We had crab apple wars when we were younger. Ideal for flinging at people. And toffee apples. I don't think I've had a toffee apple. I've looked at many. Like, I've seen them when I'm, like, at any sort of, like, fair or something like that. But I've never had the balls to say, yeah, you know what? I'm going to eat that. Which is a bit of a weird sentence for anyone who doesn't know the context. But currently it's half-time. And this contest, 10 points to 7. That would leave a mark. Says Dale Rain. Yeah, that sounds like something that would... Like, if you had a slingshot as well... Like, throwing them would hurt enough, but imagine a slingshot just firing one of those at the back of the calf muscle. I can't believe that the Great Highlanders try was no try, says Gersten Rush. Yeah, they were a bit unlucky in that game, the Highlanders. Like, yes, they still lost, but, like, you know, they had some good moments. What you think about cricket? I like it. I understand that some people do not like cricket as well, but I played cricket most recently for the season. And then, you know, we covered a bit of cricket on the channel as well. Yeah, like, it's one of those ones, it depends on what type of game you like. So I'm curious, do you know how to use a boomerang? Not really. I had a boomerang about a year ago that we tried to throw, but we tried to throw it at the beach, and the beach, because of all the wind, just pretty much took it. Like, there wasn't a boomerang, it was just a stick at that point because it wouldn't come back to us. When is that, the Adelaide boxing? That's a good question, actually. I don't actually know when it is. I'll have a quick look. Adelaide boxing. It thinks I want to sign up for boxing in Adelaide. That's not the case. Adelaide boxing event, I think it would be, isn't it? The autumn sale? No, that's not right. How's there an autumn sale going on? Is that for boxing? Search more events. We're going to find it. It wants me to sign up for boxing courses. Okay, maybe I won't be able to find it. I do it, sign up. I mean, my family sent a marble from a slingshot through the front window years ago. Cricket takes too long, says Kristen. And I can understand that perspective. Like, there are days that it takes, well, literally days. Like, a test match goes for 5 days. T20 goes for even 3.5 hours. Do you have kangaroo boxing in New Zealand? Or is that Australia? That's more Australia, I would say. It's funny that you mention it. I think that the next video on the entertainment channel is me and George reacting to kangaroos fighting people. So that will be an interesting one if you're interested in kangaroos. I love it when families do things together, says Fluffy, even if it's breaking windows. Still bonding in some regards. And our second half, almost here. It's a long second half, or a long halftime break. Roman Reigns is playing for the Tars, says Savanatha. Is he? I did not get the memo of that. I know he's going to be at WrestleMania in the near future, but I'd bet on you bet on anything, David, if it was available. I'd say you probably bet on my Saturday cricket if we had the odds up. But, you know, like you said, you're in a position where you're able to do it and you can enjoy it, and it doesn't cause too much stress overall. So, you know, as long as you're doing it responsibly, it's all good. Second half. Yep, they're making their way back out of the tunnel. Sad you can't take family out to New Zealand hot balls like the old days unless Miranda hot ball's still open and cricket is the best. So here's Hanoi there. Oh, Lachlan Lonergan's actually gone to hospital with a serious injury. They have just said to get stretched off the field pretty much straight away. I can do it. Money only buys cheap things. I'm a little bit concerned at how much you're going to send me, David, because this kind of talk sounds like you're going to go well and truly all out, especially testing summer, says Hanoi. Anyone who is new to the channel, of course, be sure to hit that subscribe button, as we have got plenty more coming up in the near future. Plenty of excitement coming up for Super Rugby as well as the URC. It's very close to getting under it. How much would make you happy? See, I don't know the answer to that question, to be fair, and I'm worried that whatever I say, you're going to like triple it. So, yeah, it's very hard to say. I feel like whatever makes you happy. If you're happy, I'm happy. But now on the on the 22 for the Reds, Alex needs Zolas to buy himself a new mobile phone. That is kind of true. My phone is very broken at the moment. But, yeah, iPhones, they cost a fair amount of money. I'm back across to the left-hand side. Noah Lolesio trying to go through. Now Rob Valentini tackled by Penny Ravo. There's another drop ball. Unless there's more, says David Rain. And as we also knew internet, that is kind of true. Yeah, the internet actually cut out in between live streams, fun fact, but luckily it stuck around for the rest of this contest at this stage. Do you like football, says Kristen Rush? I do enjoy a bit of football. We haven't commentated much football in the past. Now Ryan Lonergan goes across to Rob Valentini. Goes to Noah Lolesio, Corey Toole. Goes to Hudson Creighton and the Brumbies with the break down the wing. It is Charlie Cale does kick it downfield. Got too much on it, and it is going to be the mark taken by the Reds. We'll now look to get this one into touch, more than likely for Jock Campbell. Doesn't take too long to mess around. Does put it out. Okay. Lachlan Lonergan, dislocated ankle. Now that is 3 or 4 months that he will be out for. We talked about that dislocated knee of Cam Roigard being maybe about 4 to 6 weeks. Like dislocated ankle, that sounds like it is pretty brutal. And Roigard's could be a few extra months as well, depending on the severity of it. If it's an MCL or an ACL, that could add months on. If it's ACL tear, that could be a long time. I've been watching you since the first ITM match you did, says Kristen Rush. Was that the live stream or the rugby challenge? I want to win me $1,450. Let's go Brumbies, says David Rain. I'm going off to the left-hand side. Nice since I bought a Billy Pollard. And Bay of Plenty versus Auckland. Can you give it a time check? So currently it is sitting at 42.5 minutes through in this one. Scoreboard, I have now moved my mouse, so it should be updating once again. Go, the Red Rums, says Blazy. And yeah, time check says David Rain. So yeah, 42.50 through this one. Going off to the left-hand side, Rob Valentini tries the big bump off. Slipper trying to get that turnover in the breakdown. Doesn't work out, thanks, says Gus. Now Ollie Satsford. Tackle was called. Available again there for Lonergan. Lolesio goes off to Charlie Cale, and he has certainly been having a standout season live stream, says Kirsten Rush. So yeah, that is way back in the day that we did that one. We used to do like a top 10 tries of the week in the Bunnings NBC on Rugby Challenge 4. That was a bit of a fun series. If anyone hasn't seen those ones, I think they're still live on the channel. How much do I have to send you to go clean shaven? We talk in the face clean shaven? Or, like, because I don't really want to shave my head, but, like, clean shaven as the beard could be organisable. I'll look a little bit weird, though. I've had the mustache for, like, a good 3 or 4 years. Nicely cleaned up by Noah Lolesio. Where did he leave his feet? Says Fluffy, so another penalty goes the way of the Brumbies. A few of the decisions in this game, I think they've been very quick, snappy decisions that have been made. I agree, Blazy. And Hamish the GOAT commentator, yeah, the beard and the mustache. Tell you what, it would have to be a fair amount, because I will look weird. That's the thing, or weirder, I should say. But 35 minutes remaining. That one has gone into touch. Is that like before the next live stream as well, or do I get the weekend with it? About to throw this one in for the Reds. I'm thinking about it, David. I'll tell you what, we'll get recommendations from the chat. How much, ladies and gentlemen, would you end up taking to shave your face if you've had your face not shaven for a good few years and you feel like you look weird with it shaven? What would be your number? What's your asking price before the next live stream? Says David Rain there. Free. Padza, you're not helping. That was a very loud laugh, that one. Take 5,000. I don't know if David's offering 5,000 Hanoi. It's 175 billion, I think that is, or $1 million. 10K. Jeez, you guys are ballers. Now Ryan Lonergan goes back across now to the short side. 16 digits, says Blues Nate. Now back across to the left-hand side again, Noah Alessio. Be nicely cleaned up there. Now Lonergan goes to Alessio again for Rob Valentini. Again, Tamati Tua gives it away to Jerome Brown. Make sure they specify the currency for those units. Blues had his head in the cloud, says David Rain for the 10K. Hanoi's probably quite high up there in that regard as well. Now Ryan Lonergan kicking it in behind, and it's going to sit up awkwardly. Reds with Jock Campbell under pressure does manage to clean it up. The Brumbies with the counter ruck. The ball is there. Paisami's been told to leave it, so that will be the Brumbies ball. And they have now got their chance of counter-attack, and Jerome Brown goes back across to Tom Wright. Skip pass goes into touch. We have free beers all night on a rugby trip if we shaved half the mustache on the beard back in the day. Says Joe Evian, lol, says Annoy. There as well. Let's go the Brumbies. And tell you what, they've looked better in the second half compared to the Reds. First 7 minutes, it's been mostly the Brumbies. He has to live stream his shave. Bluffing, says Blues Nate. Live stream the shave would get hair everywhere though. That's the only thing. But like I'm not going to be able to take it off and then like tape it back on after. So like if I'm shaving, you guys will know because there will be nothing left. I agree, Fluffy, says David there. Sitting 47 minutes through, and another mistake coming for the Reds. Another knock on. The Brumbies, again, have got themselves in a good position on the field, 22 metres out. I think it's about time they start converting some of these chances into points. Of course, they have got that lead beard and mustache, says David Rain. Tell you what, without the mustache, I'm going to be looking very weird. I'm working on 50k. I don't think he's offering 50k, Nate. In fact, I'm not actually sure how much he is offering. And the pubes, says Fluffy. Yeah, well, I can't live stream that. Now Ryan Lonergan to feed this ball in here for the Brumbies. It's a big push. The Reds doing well, but the Brumbies got that ball straight out the back door, and Ollie Satsford hits it up to 22 metres out. Now Ryan Lonergan goes in behind. 50k gets the pews. But how will I prove that I've done it? Like I can't live stream it. Advantage, oh well. Oh, come on. Oh, we want to see it, says Beds Ablaze. That's some good money though, to be fair. And now Noel Alessio, another drop ball, but they go back for the original penalty. Discord says Spencer Blaze. OnlyFans live stream, says David Rain. I think YouTube wouldn't be too happy with that. And David stuck what she said in OnlyFans, says David Rain there. Now, Brumbies, they've got themselves another chance for the corner, 50k subscribers. This is Blues Nate. 5 metres out. Chance here for Billy Pollard to throw this one in, hopefully straight, for the Brumbies' sake. They have had plenty of chances. Noel Aliso's actually had his jersey ripped. Manscaping plug, says Joseph there. That is true. But a sponsored job. Nicely taken by Darcy Swain, not straight. And it's another mistake from the Brumbies. Both of these sides have been extremely scrappy, and I honestly don't know which way it's going to go. Of course, the Reds lost their last game to the Western Force. Logistics seem overwhelming, says Gus. And back to the rugby, says David there, but just a little bit wonky. Of course, if they had Lachlan Lonergan, it could have been a different deal. But, man, coming off the bench for the Brumbies, Billy Pollard, not able to get it right there. 30 minutes left in this game. I mentioned how quickly the first 20 or so minutes went in this game. This next kind of about maybe 25 minutes has been a lot slower. Daly making his way onto the field. That is for Ryan Smith, who had his fair share of handling errors. And this one, I've come to New Zealand. Can I join you on the live stream, says David. If we're not shaving anything, like as in while we're on live stream, then that could be a possibility, David. Maybe. We'll see. I mean, to be fair, like what's an American sport that you think I should watch? We could do like an American sport. Watch along instead. Now big push there from the Brumbies. Now going out wide. Big run down the wing for Jordan Bataille. Missed tackle attempt from Kale. Bataille still going. Didn't want to offload it though. Gets back up to his feet and now goes with the pass. The name is my chat name. Says Kristen. Pass on the outside. Chance out wide for the Reds. Inside ball. And they are 5 metres out. Basketball or baseball? Baseball would probably be an interesting one to be able to commentate. I'm getting Pulp Fiction Gimp vibes, says Fluffy. Now back across here, big run from Harry Wilson. He's had a relatively quiet game up till now, but that is purely because of all the drop balls that we have seen throughout this game. Penny Ravai, tackled by Tamati Tua. Basketball, says JP out of the two. What he would like to watch. Who's your team in the basketball, David, for the NBA? And hockey's getting close to the playoffs, then the NBA, says Gus. Now back across. Hunter Paisami tries the spin. Going to be another penalty advantage for offside. Harry Wilson taken down again. Now looking to go off to the left-hand side. Hunter Paisami gets close. Huge Yankees fan. I have season seats behind home plate, says David. That one is going to be another penalty going the way of the Reds. This time just out from the Brumbies line. The New York Yankees. Who's the New York team in the NBA then? New York Jets, is it? The New York Jets, I think. You'd have to teach me some basketball because I have no idea about the old basketball. And also ask Otani for some betting tips, says Fluffy, but now kicking this one towards the corner. Rather than taking on the 3 here, the Reds, they want the 7. The New York Knicks. Are they basketball or baseball, the New York Knicks? Is that a really bad question to ask? I feel like I should know. New York Trolley Dodgers, says JP Wood. Haven't heard of them before. Sami, he got close. They kicked it for the touchline. Knicks are basketball. Do they have any other New York teams? Other than, who are the Jets? Where are the Jets from? Are they New York as well? Or is that a different team? Nicely claimed by the Reds, looking for this rolling maul. Are they relocated to LA? Also, they're the LA Jets now. For the Giants, the New York Giants, the New York Jets. As the Knicks and the Nets. Okay. And the Jets are in the NFL and Jets are American football. Okay, so I'm slowly learning. I'm getting there. Reese is going to the Kansas Chiefs. How do you go to the Super Bowl winners as your first ever team, says Cool Story Bro? Yeah, it's pretty exciting for Lewis Reese. Hopefully does get some opportunities. And Jets are a New York team. And the Jets are American football and the LA Dodgers, says JP. Now, once again, it's going to be another line out for the Reds, and this will bring frustration if they can't convert this into points. They are only sitting 5 metres out, similar to where the Brumbies were only about 4 or 5 minutes ago. Now the ball about to be thrown in. LA Dodgers are American baseball, says David Rain. Now the rolling maul starting off the back. Believe that is going to be Josh Nassar dragged down. Another penalty advantage against the Brumbies. It's a penalty try, which normally leads to a yellow card. My dad turned off the rugby to play Call of Duty. What Call of Duty is he playing? Kristen, out of curiosity, but that is the penalty try for the Reds. Gives them the full the full 7 points. So how much to go clean shaven? See, I don't know how much it's valued at. You'd have to give me a ballpark number and I'd have to tell you whether or not you're on the right track. And Awesome Dad says, Fluffy and go the Reds. Says amazing product. Looking to go around the side of the break down there, the Reds, and then the Brumbies just dove on it. Wouldn't let it out, Modern Warfare 3. Says Kristen. So I think Fun Nick, he is now going to be taken off the field for the next 10 minutes here. And at least at the penalty tries, the Brumbies will be down a man. And the NPC team should come up with some more interesting names. I plump for the West Coast Whitebait. And also Modern Warfare 3 is great. And also another donation from Blues Day. That is now 3 on the side stream. And they've got bigger and bigger and bigger as well, Nate. So it is greatly appreciated. Fun Nick disappointed with coming in through the side. Does get himself a yellow card. And what kind of advantage can that bring now for the Reds throughout the next 25 minutes or so? Nicely taken by Siru. Just outside of their own 22 here for the Reds. McDermott goes off to Zane Ungor. Loose ball, but it does find the hands of Lawson Creighton. Now, bouncing awkwardly. The Brumbies cleaning up with Noel Ulysio. Do you play EA FC 24? I do not know. Once it's on special, I'll probably get it though. And I remember Brumbies are screwing me. And by my proxy Kiwi lads, says David Rain. Yeah, well, it's very hard to predict cards, to be fair, but they aren't completely out of this game yet. Nicely taken was Matt Greeley trying to go through. Moves up to the halfway line where he is dragged down by Rob Bellatini, as well as the big man Charlie Cale. And up to Reds. It says Blues, Nate. Another big shot on Harry Wilson. McDermott going across to Matt Greeley. Rush defence from Tamati Tua. Now ball on the outside to Josh Nassar. Off these sides, it seems like something's about to give, and it could be this offload here. Suru finds another one. So I believe it was George Blake playing at number 17 here. Back across, Hunter Paisami. Good tackle made on him. McDermott sold the dummy, goes off to Geordie Pataya. Tom Wright shuts him down. Of course, two men who could end up being teammates in the Wallabies. Another penalty going the way of the Reds. 11 White was offside. So you get money when Blues Nate does that. How do you do that? Says David Rain. So in the chat, pretty much any time that he does that donation, there's a little $sign next to the chat. And pretty much that's where you can set how much you want to donate. And you can pick a super sticker or anything similar to what Nate did there. It just comes up as super sticker, but in the chat you can see what it was. You should stream the WARS games. Says Kristen, we've considered doing their game tomorrow, but I think I'll be pretty exhausted after the 2 URC games that we are doing later on tonight as well. But we are hoping to maybe do a little bit of the WARS midway through the season if we do get a few less overlaps with Super Rugby. Even if it's only the Warriors games that we are covering rather than every game of the NRL. Is Pattaya carrying an injury? Or has he lost some gas? So he did take a head knock and you get the money, says David. I do receive some of it. Now, YouTube take a small percentage of the revenue from donations and live streams and everything like that, but a majority of the money does go to myself, yes. But I think, yeah, PayPal definitely have less commission for them rather than YouTube. Now, rolling maul. Looking to march this one forward here for the Reds. They are getting close and they are over the try line. 2 tries in a row here for them. And it's Josh Nasser who crosses the try line. How much cash you got? Woo, congrats, says Hanoi. So yeah, there's the 3rd donation in a row from Blues, Nate. So he is definitely supplying us with some food for the weekend. That sounds like I don't have food. Otherwise, I do still have food, but he normally treats us to either KFC or Pizza Hut for a weekend. Just do the Waz game if you feel it, says Kristen. That's the thing. We covered the last final moments of the game up against the Melbourne Storm. I'd rather do PayPal so you get more, says David, and that is fair enough. And how's New Zealand doing? Have they forgotten World Rugby for the World Cup final? What's the mood? Or forgiven World Rugby for the World Cup final? I feel like most Kiwis are over the World Cup final. At the end of the day, like Super Rugby's on, the URC's on, July International's around the corner. There's a lot of rugby coming up. And Defunk has donated the $2 as well. Thank you very much, mate. And go the Reds in this Aussie disaster called the Brumbies. Says Hanoi, that one's hit the post. So the lead will be 9 points here for the Reds. They are not completely done and dusted in this contest, but that yellow card has hurt the Brumbies drastically. Now, chance again for the Reds to try and extend that lead. We're still 5 minutes remaining of the yellow card. Let's go the Reds. Says the Blues, Nate. Now kicking this one forward. Decent boot on it. Goes down to Lawson Creighton, Harry Wilson. They should cover extra cheese on your pizza, mate. Says Defunk. We'll hugely appreciate it. I did try onion rings on a pizza. I talked about it on the podcast. Terrible decision. They go very soggy. So I highly wouldn't recommend putting onion rings on a pizza. We are going to need the Brumbies to win. To do that, got 1,000 for 1,450 plus the bet. Do I still have a chance, says David Rain? I honestly don't think the Brumbies are out of the game yet. I think the good news is, like, either way, I think you have won some over the weekend, I want to say, compared to last weekend, where it did seem like you did possibly have a bit of a rough one. Now going out wide, Corey Toole. His foot was on the touchline. The referee says play on, though, and he has driven into touch, but the penalty will go back in favour of the Brumbies. And add a cheesy crust, says Fluffy there, and Blue supporting the Reds. And also the Brumbies pull up pants to win. And also extra pineapple, says Annoy. Extra pineapple? What? I'd have to put actual pineapple on it for a start. To be fair. Pizza Hut onion rings are the best. And not on the pizza, though. I agree. I think that their Pizza Hut onion rings are the best in the game. Just when you put them on the pizza, they sog up a little bit and they go a bit funny. But like outside of the pizza, really good onion rings. Not sponsored by Pizza Hut, but that would be nice. Donald Butt has gifted 1 membership. Thank you very much, mate. Somebody in the price to see you go clean shaven, says David. See, I don't know what's your margin that you're thinking of. Like I honestly do not know how much is like a normal number to do such a thing. If that makes sense. Like, one time we cracked an egg on our heads for $20, but we got ripped off big time because we did that and then the person didn't donate. But then, like, other people will donate it, so that was quite nice. $20, 500, says Defunk. Can I leave the mustache for $20? Like, 20 US dollars. Now back across Jerome Brown. Now slap back a morning all. Happy Easter 50, says Pads Blaze. Not enough, says Gus. Feel like you guys are my negotiators, aren't you? All right, Lonergan, flat ball. And close to 23 now, still unemployed, says Umbrella Company. If it makes you feel better, I'm 24 and still have no idea what I'm going to do. 40 US dollars and the mustache must go too. And 100 New Zealand dollars, says the Funk. Now going off to the right-hand side, Tamati to it, in behind to Tom Wright, he goes through, and the Brumbies get themselves another. Leave the facial and lose the shark teeth, says JP Wood. Oh, I can't help my, well, I could help my teeth. I didn't need to get that smile more thing going, don't I? Or what's it called? The Invisalign. One of those ones. But now the gap has been closed between these two sides. Who do you think will win the games you are streaming in the morning? I think that we're going to see a try scored, or sorry, not a try scored, but I think we're going to see a win for the Sharks. Although Edinburgh have their good players back. So it could be a challenging game, and then I think the Stormers will be too strong for Ulster. But yeah, it could be two good games. 100 mates stick to it. Says D-Funk, sounds like good news for the Brumbies. It certainly is. Tom Wright scoring that try, getting them back into the contest. You should aim for an IPL contract, make big bucks. Hamish, how much to not shave your neck for a year? That would be brutal, I think. Like the neck, like it grows pretty quick overall, but there is this patch here that's a little bit more rough. That doesn't grow. And one for the Sharks, are you punking me? Tell you what, they won last week though. They beat Ulster last week. Edinburgh though are stacked now this week compared to last week, so I feel like it's going to be a tough game, but at home in Durban, I'd like to think that would give them a bit of an advantage. It may not be much of one, but it should be just a little bit of one. Now lining up this kick, Noah Lolesio does get it over. Does it get itchy under the chin? It actually doesn't, believe it or not. I know a lot of people get itchy when they have like beards and they shave them, but I honestly do not get at all itchy, and I don't know why. Like, it should be itchy, but yeah, like, it never itches. We were talking about the beard, by the way. But 16 minutes remaining. We kicked off high from the Reds. Looks like Jerome Brown has made the change. He's gone off, and Luke Raymer has gone up. I shaved my bra strap area, says Cool Story Bro. You got to every once in a while. Oh yeah, Gadea wins the next draw game. It is going to be next weekend, and they do go head-to-head with the Rebels for the Rebels. How about this? 25 and I will shave 2, says Pads of Blaze. Now nicely taken. Okay, $50 US. That's for the clean-shaven face. Oh, without the mustache slightly saves me from looking like a right weirdo. I think the Reds are going to win 26 points to 15. Says Kirsten Rush, although the Brumbies currently have got themselves the 17. See, taken by Tom Wright. Let's kick it back down the field again. Got Campbell. Goes downfield, nicely taken by Corey Toole. Noel Alessio. Who are we cheering for? See, Simro, at the moment, the Brumbies, they seem like they're going to come back in this contest. Although the Reds, still, I feel like they are going to be the little bit of a stronger side. We are going to I'll shave 2 if you do it. Says Pedza. And there says Pedza Blaze. And other Rangers still at the top. At first, I need the Brumbies to win. Got $1,000 on them. Says David. Yeah, that's probably the first thing to concentrate on, I would say, overall. And hopefully, they can pull it off for you. It's kicked downfield from the Reds. Of course, the Brumbies, they have a better chance of finishing a little bit higher up on the table at the end of this round if they are able to pull off the victory. The Reds can finish at top 4th. I believe the Brumbies can actually get up to 2nd place. If it goes well, that kick is too far and it's gone dead from the Reds. And hey, how's it going? Says Simran there. We could get a female perspective. Simran, I've been offered $50 US to shave my face completely, but I have to get rid of the mustache too. Do you think that that is a worthy amount, or do you think it should be higher, or I should negotiate to keep the mustache at least? Do let me know, but they are just showing there. Holding Darcy Swain, or Darcy Swain holding McDermott down just to cause a little bit of, I guess, aggression in the breakdowns. What was your prediction for this game? I did predict the Brumbies to win. Now, they're down by 2 at the moment. They got a bit of work to do. They are back to 15 at least in this game. Hope you're well, Hamish. And Reds 26 to 24. Says Kristen. And as well, all or nothing, Hamish. Says David Rain. Yeah, but you guys haven't seen me without a mustache. I'll donate 10k if Pets a shave Simran live. That's an interesting one. Negotiate to keep the mustache at least, says the Black Samoan. And I don't think you should shave anything, negotiate to keep it all. So wait, so I just get paid without shaving. That sounds like a very good negotiation, to be fair. I think that was going to be the case if the Brumbies won, if I'm correct there, David. Maybe, although probably not. I have no idea. Now another scrum feed here for the Brumbies. I hope one day that I can visit the Greg and Larkham stand. Says, cool story, bro. It's like a bit of frustration. Excuse me, Fluffy. Says some run there. The bonus point currently in play for the Brumbies, seeing as they are down by only 2. Yes, the Brumbies have to win first. Says David. In there as well. Another reset. My dad got headshot sniped on Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Does he have a second controller, Kristen? Do you get to play split screen with him? Me and Dad used to play for hours on Call of Duty Ghosts. And now Wax Hamish's legs. No, don't start that. I'm sure they'll be hairy. And it would be funny. They are hairy. But they should not be waxed because they will not look right. I've had hair on them for so long. And no. That, like, to do the legs, I'm taking Hanoi's $5,000 earlier on. And I'm even saying maybe that's not enough. Should be the Eddie Jones stand. Says Hanoi, front rows go down. Penalty to the Brumbies. Oh, they can take the 3 and take the lead here. If they want it. Or do they kick for the corner and try and extend a little bit more than just a 1-point lead? They have called for the shot. If Hamish is waxing anything, we're going full Brazilian. How much to shave every hair except your head? Every hair. That's a lot. Like it's gotta be 5 figures, doesn't it? I'll look so weird. I'll look like a naked mole rat for a wee while. Who's a better ref, Angus Gardner or Ben O'Keefe? I'll probably go Ben O'Keefe, to be honest. Like, Angus Gardner, I think, is relatively solid as well. I'm so disappointed about that. I'm a huge Highlanders fan, but congrats to the Canes. We've got to leave him something, boys, says the Funk. And yeah, but he is really good because he has been playing since the OG Modern Warfare 3. If you get a cast the hair under, it falls off. It is weird, says Gus. And now Alessio gets it over. How is Hamish supposed to impress the ladies if he doesn't have any doesn't have his facial hair? Says Simran there. How many tries does TJ Perenata have now? He has 1 extra from what he had, so I believe he's now on 60, if I'm correct. I'm just looking for a clean shaven face. $50, says David. I mean, extra Brazilian on me was good, says Hanoi. Now the Brumbies are in the lead, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in this contest, other than at halftime, so the first time of this second half. And now the ball has gone into touch. They've taken momentum. They've got that 1 point advantage, but the Reds are still in this game. Could easily go either way. And let's go, says David Rain. Agreed, Simran. And where does that put him as the top try scorer? I believe he's second equal at the moment with Izzy Folau, but I could be wrong there. I think that Julian Savia, though, is the leading try scorer by 1 ahead of Izzy Folau. Now, short ball to Fraser McWright. Trying to get the turnover, Defunct, thank you. Says a Simran. Now, McDermott rush defense there from Tamati Tua. Looked like he completely misread that one. This is so good, says Toxic Fish. And he's 2 more to take it, says JP. They wanted the turnover there, the Brumbies. They weren't able to do so. Zayn Ngor passes it behind. That's forward, I think, from Martin Crane. And also a knock on. Now the Brumbies went for the kick, but they have got themselves these scrums feed. Got to make some money, Hamish. Shaving money. Shaving money's a term that I haven't heard before. Shaving money. I don't give him extra mushrooms. It's not letting me. I have money. Don't know what's happening. There's a Fluffy in there as well. And Super Rugby, your top 14. I cover both Crumpus, and welcome back. Hope you are doing well after the Six Nations. It's probably the last time that we have seen you. They've had a chance to de-stress and, find some relaxation. 8 minutes remaining, 1 point in it though at the moment. The Reds would receive a bonus point the way that it currently sits. We'll move them up to third as it currently sits, they have just said on the commentary. Put them ahead of the Blues, either as long as Hamish is commentating, says David Rain. And of course the URC, we have got 2 games later on tonight. There we are covering another Brumbies. No, they don't get the penalty. It is just going to be a reset. Rob Valentini scratching his head. He felt like it should have been the penalty to his side. And no one's winning it going forward because it's even, says Ben O'Keefe. So neither side getting the advantage there. And put your cash in a shaving account, says Fluffy. I like what you did there. A little bit of a pun involved. But Fun Nick took a lot of awkwardness in the way that one spun and he got dropped down. 8 minutes now remaining. Who do you think will win these games you are doing after this? Says Kristen. So yeah, I think the Sharks and the Stormers. I think the South African sides will do all right. Although I think out of those 2 games, the side with the more likeliness of losing would be the Sharks up against Edinburgh. But we'll have to wait and see. That is going to be the free kick now for the Brumbies. I believe they will go with another scrum reset here. And I know Ben O'Keefe is back. Says Krampus there. Right. Looks like they are calling for the scrum once more. Or are they? Looks like Noel Alessio is going to kick this one downfield. They haven't got the penalty though. They're going to go high. And next match I can bet on is Herald versus Paris. So I'm not actually too sure who they are. I know that Paris might be Stade France. No, probably not Stade Francais, but I'm not actually sure of either of these sides. They have mentioned if Hamish shaves, he'll be baby-faced and will lose his female viewership, so I vote for him to keep it. Says Simran there. Are you covering that? We are not. No, the next game that we've got is the Sharks versus Edinburgh, which is at 2 a.m. New Zealand time, which is in just under 3 hours. Do you think TJ Perenara will make the All Blacks? Depends on Roygaard's injury. I think that if he ends up being out for longer, Roygaard, it may end up costing him a bit more time in the AB's jersey, and it may give Perenara a bit more of a chance. But the Brumbies have got the knock-on advantage again. Now going on the outside, Tamati Tua lined up early, thought about the offloading attempt, but Hunter Paisami drags him down. Now back across infield, going to Harry Vella. And come on the Reds, says Sione. And there as well, chance of an interception, and the Reds manage to take it back now. It is a knock-on from the Reds. The Brumbies have got themselves the feed. Who do I put my money on? I'm not sure about that Paris versus Herald game. I have no idea. Roygaard is dead for the rest of the season. It's not confirmed yet, though. Like, he's got a dislocated knee, which could be 6 to 8 weeks. But also, if it isn't as serious as it first looked, he may get to come back a little bit earlier. I think that the Reds will score on the last second try. Says Kristen, which is exactly why the Brumbies need a try here. If they win the scrum feed, that will be a bonus. If they get the penalty, they will take the 3 to get them out of that bonus point range, or out of that 3-point range, I should say. Will Aaron Smith come back? And big love, mate. Hope you're having a great streaming day, says Sebastian. Certainly am, of course, excited for the county championship to come just around the corner. Stark got the most money in the IPL auction, but he hasn't been good with the ball yet, says Umbrella Company. And Sharks or Edinburgh. Oh, see, if you said Stormers or Ulster, I would be able to give you a good answer. Sharks versus Edinburgh, though, with the lineup. Like, Sharks are heavy favourites, but Edinburgh are a decent side. I'd still go the Sharks, though, but I wouldn't put a large bet on it if I was you, because it could easily go the other way. You're almost, I don't think they do it in America. I was going to say you're almost better off backing a player to score a try in that game rather than the result. 5 minutes remain. Are you doing the URC tonight, Hamish? We certainly are. We've got the Sharks versus Edinburgh just around the corner, and then also Ulster versus the Stormers a bit later on tonight. Did Ronan Kelleher ever get hit by Retallick? It's gone down once again in the front. Time is off again. Using up plenty of time on the clock. Even with it going off, we're still using 30 seconds per scrum reset. Do you like EAFC 23? It's all right overall. Like, I don't have many complaints. Normally when I play it, me and Dad do a career mode. If I win here, I'm putting the whole 2,450 on my next bet. I thought you were giving me some money, David. 4.5 minutes remaining. Remind me of Michael Corleone. I don't actually know who that is, which I feel like has just offended you. Go big or go home. I would not do that, David. I would go back to only using your 1,000 again, because like that is an unpredictable game. And also with the odds paying the way that they aren't really worth it for that game. You're better off Stormers versus Ulster. It's gone up again at scrum time. I think Kristen would try to flirt with you, throw her a bone. Says JP, Kristen, I believe, is a man or a son of a guy who's got Call of Duty, if I'm correct. And what did Rico Ioane say to Johnny Sexton after the quarters? Only if you shave, Hamish. Says David. This seems a bit rough. And we have got, there you go, big or go home. I'm going to look up Michael Corleone while we're at it. Michael Corleone. Blanco? Oh, yeah. Maybe a little tiny bit. Okay, I'll make 500 because you said no. Or because you said so. Says a David Rain. Wait, so 500 for the shave? Or 500 for the bet? I'm confused. I'm a 10-year-old kid, says Kristen. Why does everyone have a problem with his beard, says Umbrella. To be fair, it's not the greatest beard ever. And we have Goodare, Sharks versus Edinburgh, Stormers versus Ulster are the remaining streams for today. They certainly are. The last two that we have got. Penalty goes the way of the Reds. 500 for the bet, says David Rain. That would be a lot safer. Although the Reds are not out of this game as of yet, they have just won themselves a penalty. $50 for the shave. Says David Rain. Now Lawson Creighton to kick this ball for the corner. Leon said it's quarterfinal 8. Time to go home, Irish. Says Crumpets, but they have put it into touch here. The Reds, any penalty against the Brumbies could end up costing them the game here. Just going down. Lachlan Lonergan frustrated with it. Lining up this kick. They've got Fraser McBride in the midfield. They've got Suliasi Vunivalu out on the wing. Now for the Brumbies. This is their big chance to try and shut down this game. Josh Nassar, though, throws it in and is claimed by the Reds. Kalani Thomas goes off to Lawson Creighton. Good leg strength shown by John Bryant. Now to the short side, Kalani Thomas. We've seen handling errors all throughout this game. Are we going to see it again? Counter-ruck there from the Brumbies. They almost gave away the penalty. And come on, that's why I don't eat Brum instead of Bun. And also, so the Sharks or Edinburgh. It's a tricky one. The Sharks should win. They've got a good team, but Edinburgh have a better record at the moment. This is the first time you're ahead of Stan Stream. Had to pause you a few seconds. Says Annoy. Now Lawson Creighton goes across to Suru. And let me put you on the spot. For old time's sake, which streams do you like more, Super Rugby or the URC? That's a fantastic question, Sebastian. There's two different reasons. I would say Super Rugby because of the time zones, URC because of the action. That is a knock on there from the Reds. And 90 seconds remaining. Like, I enjoy the concept of the URC with the fact that it ties into the Champions Cup as well. You name it, Hamish, and I'll bet on it, Hamish, you're the man. That's a lot of pressure, David. Like, if I was to pick either side in that game, I'd probably go the Sharks, but I wouldn't be surprised if Edinburgh win. Super Rugby is better than URC. URC too slow. This has been a great match, says Kristen. Yeah, very close game between these two sides. And with that little mistake made by Fraser McWright near the final moments of the game. Now only 1 minute 10 remaining on the clock. But the scrum of the Brumbies hasn't been the most consistent throughout this contest. If they make the mistake, then the Reds should be able to take the 3 points. I bet you Red will lose. Says 7-0. Great answer. Your fence is certainly tougher than the Berlin Wall. Says Sebastian. And I learnt, Sebastian, just before that Surrey are actually playing Lancashire in the opening round, aren't they? Of the County Championship. So that'll be an interesting game. I feel like I'll be very quiet throughout those days. I put a 500 on the Sharks if the Brumbies win. Caesar, David Rain. And don't you sometimes wish South African teams were still in Super Rugby? I do in a certain regard, but I also like the fact that they've branched out to the URC. They've created new opportunities for themselves, and they are looking to compete with the best sides in Europe. So I feel like it's also a little bit of a win for the South African sides. Yes, they miss playing in the Super Rugby competition, according to some South Africans that we have heard from, but at the same time, they've got a chance of more trophies and more opportunities to play a bit of a lighter schedule as well. And Reds are the ABs, Brumbies in the box. $50 for you if you go clean shaven. So what was I going to get if I don't go clean shaven, David, in terms of like just if the Brumbies won? Before the shaving came in, you were like, hey, I'll give you the bonus. Is that now no bonus? And Kings versus Rebels, big scrum from the Reds. Almost knocked on by Ryan Lonergan. The ball's still there though for the Brumbies. They've got 50 seconds. Yeah, 5th of April, 4 days of relentless rivalry between me and Gareth. Says Sebastian and Ereborough have their full internationals. That is true. Nothing if you don't shave. Oh, that's a bit brutal, isn't it? Now Ryan Lonergan, 30 seconds remaining. Ryan Lonergan, or Rob Valentini, sorry. Now hitting the ball up again. They do have to release him. Does roll over. Still 20 seconds remaining. And give me the preview of Fiji Sevens, please. It will be coming out later on in the week. Same with the Samoan Sevens preview on the channel as well. One more phase for the Brumbies should secure the victory. Ryan Lonergan has been told to use it. Rob Valentini hits it up. Fraser McGrath trying to strip that ball, committing the men to the breakdown. It's there for the Brumbies. Still making a donation for your great commentary, says David, and that is a Brumbies win, so you are now a lot richer in that regard. And the Reds, you'd have to say with the amount of errors that they made throughout this one, they did blow the opportunity of taking out the win. Super Rugby was better with the South African sides. The two Pacific Islands will be unstoppable. The Aguares coming back to Super Rugby because the Rebels going bankrupt. There were rumours that they could end up making their return. And what a frustrating game to watch. It wasn't the cleanest game of rugby we've seen over the weekend, but it is the win to the Brumbies, the underdogs. And let's go, says Toxic Vish in the chat as well. Corey Toole for the Brumbies hardly touched the ball throughout this game. It's been one of those standouts. Tom Wright, though, scoring that try, thanks to the commentary, 100 out of 100. Says Sifanathan. The Brumbies won, says David. They certainly did. 20 points to 19 in the end, winning it by the 1 point. And Fiji will be the first Pacific Island team to win the World Cup, says Krampus. And the dumb Reds, says Hanoi and the Brumbies. They did have to win, or the lead at halftime. They then lost it early on in the second half when they did concede a couple silly penalties, getting yellow carded. Show me the money, says David Rain. And there was no chance it was a clean game, says Kristen. And there as well. Yeah, it was always going to be a little bit scrappy between these two sides. That was to be expected. We'll mention the next game that we are covering on the channel, ladies and gents. That is taking place at 1:50 a.m. New Zealand time. And that is the match between the Sharks and Edinburgh. And Brumbies and the Rebels damaged home support for Oz teams. Only 2 home games wins this week. And yeah, only 3 winners were favourites as well. I got to ask, before you leave, mate, what's happening to the Crusaders this season? I know they finally won their first, but it's been an atrocious start. I mean, they lost Scott Robinson, of course, but they also lost 15 players, 10 of which were All Blacks from their side. Like, they haven't got Richie Mo'unga, Whainga Nuku, Jack Goodhue, Braden Enor. They haven't got George Bridge, Ethan Blackadder, Will Jordan. Of course, some of these guys will return due to injury later on, but like they are missing a heap of players. Scott Barrett, Cody Taylor. They've got a list. So maybe it's going to take them a bit longer to gel with their new team that they've put onto the field. But I think once they do gel, they will be a decent side to watch out for again. And thanks, Hamish. Are you my only source for live rugby, says David. If 500 on the Sharks, paying 175 plus bet, says David Rain. We are going to be covering that one, of course, on the channel as well. New Zealand is a Pacific Island team, I think. We have won the World Cup, says JP. And thanks, Hamish. You're my only source for rugby and going to shave, says David. I would prefer not to yet. Maybe in like a week or two might be ideal. Like for the sevens, I think I would prefer to have a face that has some hair on it. But I think in the near future, I may have to take up your offer. of shaving. But yeah, for now, I think we're going to leave it on. Just for now. Andorra at 7th place, Rebels 6th. Fiji win against the Rebels, and they are at 5th place. Says Southern Arthur. And yeah, some big games just around the corner. We've only got the 4 games taking place next week. I think they've already started gelling. Okay, no $50 for you, says David. Yeah, it's pretty rough to turn down $50 for a shave, but that just tells you how weird I look without facial hair, that I'm willing to turn that down. And Crusaders had a better starting lineup this week. I suspect a few first few games are better. As payment due pre-shave or post-shave. Says Fluffy. I think it would have been pre, but yeah, we didn't end up going with it. In the end, the Crusaders, I want to see, says David Rain. We'll see. One day, maybe. Like in the near future, perhaps. My nose is extremely itchy now at the end of this game, which is very unfortunate. The Crusaders are starting their comeback, says Kristen. And there as well, but nonetheless, a half before and a half after, says David Rain. And there as well. And 100 for the eyebrows too, says Pants and Blaze. But nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. I'll give you $50 to shave your eyebrows. Are you going to stream tomorrow? We have got a stream in only 2.5 hours time. That one taking place between the Sharks and Edinburgh. So be sure, keep an eye out for that one. But nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you all for the next one.